just 1218. I'm glad you made it to 200 numbers. Now, we can continue with the numbers without hesitation.
I know!
Here are 120 amazing numbers to expand your mind. 60 is the number of seconds in a minute and the number of minutes in an hour. The number system with base 60 is called sexagesimal, with the original meaning of the base being 60th. 60 is also a highly composite number because it has more divisors than any smaller positive integer. 117 is the pentagonal number after 51, 7, and 92. 117 is also the smallest possible length of the longest edge of an integer here only in tetrahedron. Its other edge lengths are 51, 52, 53, 80, 84. Also, in base 8, 117 is 79 decimal, which is the 22nd prime number. 98 is a composite number as it is 2 times 7 to the 2, in summary, 242. 98 is a palindrome. This number is a Wedder-Brin-Etherington number. By the way, the Wedder-Brin-Etherington numbers can be used to count certain kinds of binary trees. 59 is the number corresponding to the last minute in a given hour and the last second in a given minute. By the way, since 15 factorial plus 1 is divisible by 59, but 59 is not 1 more than a multiple of 15. 59 is a Pillai prime. 41 is the 13th smallest prime number. The next is 43, making both twin primes. The sum of the divisors of the first 7 positive integers also equal to 41. It is the 12th supersingular prime because it is divisible by the order of the monster group. And 196 is a square number. More specifically, it is the square of 14. As the square of a Catholic number, it counts the number of walks of length 8 in the positive quadrant. Integer primals start and end at the origin, moving diagonally at each step. 8 is the smallest non-trivial cube. Also, 8 is the 6th Fibonacci number and the first even, non-prime Fibonacci number. 8 is the base of the octal number system as well, which is mostly used with computers. 131 is the 32nd prime number. Also, it is a permutable prime with 113 and 311. This number is an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and real part of the form 3n minus 1. By the way, 131 is the second 3-digit palindromic prime. 45 is the smallest odd number that has more divisors than n plus 1 and a larger sum of divisors than n plus 1. It is the 6th positive integer with a square prime factorization of the form 3 to the 2 times q, with p of q prime, and the first of the form 3 to the 2 times q, minus 1 is the additive inverse of 1. Although there are no real square roots of minus 1, the complex number I satisfies I to the 2 equals minus 1, and as such can be considered as the square root of minus 1. Also, multiplying a number by minus 1 is like changing the sign of the number. For example, minus 1 times 9 equals minus 9. 13 is the 6th prime number. 13 is also the 2nd star number, a happy number, a lucky number, and a Fibonacci number, because reversing the digits also gives a prime number. 13 is a number decimal. 2 is the smallest and only even prime number. 2 is also the first Sophie Germain prime, the first factorial prime, the first Lucas prime, and the first Ramanujan prime. An integer is called even if it is divisible by 2. 141 is the 46th semibright, which is 3 times 47. Also, it is the sum of the sums of the divisors of the first 13 positive integers, since 141's factors, which are 3 and 47, are both Gaussian primes. 141 is a Bloom integer. 80 is the sum of Euler's totient function over the first 16 integers. The parity principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, states that for many effects, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. 75 is the number of balls in a standard game of bingo in the United States. The next non-agonal number 9, 24, and 46 is 75. It is also the sum of the 5 pentagonal numbers. Therefore, it is a pentagonal pyramidal number. 185 is a semiprime that is 5 times 37. The spiral of Theodorus is formed by unit length line segments that, together with the center point of the spiral, form right triangles. 185 of these right triangles fit within sets of 132 yields the same number. 132 is the smallest number in decimal with this property. 55 is the 50th discrete semiprime in second, with 5 as the lowest non-unitary factor. 55 is also the 10th Fibonacci number. It is the largest Fibonacci number that is triangular number, which is the 10th in that category as well. 76 is, in the colloquial American parlance, a reference to 1776, the year of the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence. It is a composite number and a square prime of the form p to the 2 times q, where q is a higher prime. This is the 9th of this form. 96 is a number that appears the same when turned upside down, which is a strobogrammatic number. It is also divisible by the number of prime numbers, 24, below 96, 4 bases 11, 15, 23, 31, 47, and 95. 96 is palindromic. 95 is the 30th distinct semiprime and the 5th that is 5 times a prime, as with all integers of the form 3 times 2 to the n minus 1. 95 is a Babbitt number. It is an 11-gonal, pendecagonal number after 11, 30, and 58. 176 is a number that is 2 to the 4 times a prime number. 11, 15 can be partitioned in 176 ways. Some of 176's divisors are 2, 4, 16, 22, 44, and 88, and the sum of those divisors is 176. So 176 is a semi-perfect number. 20 is the basis for bigezimal number systems. 20 is the smallest primitive abundant number because it is an abundant number whose proper divisors are all deficient numbers. In a Rubik's Cube, 20 is the number of moves required to optimally solve it in the worst case. 57 is the number found in a brand name of sauce called Heinz 57. It is a replicate in base 7, as the number written in this base is 111. Also, the first icosagonal or 20-gonal number is 57. The third Bloom integer is 57. By the way, a Bloom integer is a semi-prime where both prime factors are congruent to 3 mod 4. 31 is the 11th prime number. The 31st prime number, 127, is the second double Mersenne prime, following 7. By the way, the numbers 31, 331, 3,331, 33,331, 333,331, 3,333,331, and 33,333,331 are all prime. 145 is a semi-prime of the form 5q, where q is a higher prime. To be more specific, it is 5 times 29, plus 145 is equal to 3 to the 4 plus 4 to the 3, making it a real number, although composite. 145 is a Fermat pseudo-prime to 16 bases with b less than 145. In 4 of those bases, it is a strong pseudo-prime. 1, 12, 17, and 144. 136 itself is a factor of the additive number. 136 is a triangular number because it's the sum of the first 16 positive integers. In base 10, the sum of the cubes of its digits is 1 to the 3 plus 3 to the 3 plus 6 to the 3 equals 244. The sum of the cubes of the digits of 244 is 2 to the 3 plus 4 to the 3 plus 4 to the 3 equals 136. 124 is a stella octangular number where a number of spheres are act in the shape of a stellate octahedron. There are 124 different polygons of length 12 formed by edges of the integer lattice. Counting 2 polygons as the same only when one is translated copy of the other. 11 is the first replicate. Additionally, 11 is the smallest 2-digit prime number. It is the 5th prime number and the first 2-digit numeric palindrome in decimal. Also, it is the first prime exponent that doesn't yield a Mersenne prime, in which the result is 2047, or 23 times 89. 97 is the 25th prime number and the only prime in the 90s, since 95 and 99 are prime. It is an isolated prime. Also, this is the highest 2-digit number where the sum of its digits is a square. 9 plus 7 equals 16 equals 4 to the 2. 183 is a semi-prime of the form 3q, where q is a higher divisors is 65, or 1 plus 3 plus 61, which is less than 183, so 183 is a deficient number. The number 183 is the fourth element of the divisibility sequence. 3, 13, 183, and so on, in which the nth number can be computed. The formula that can be seen on 183's Wikipedia page for a transcendental number, which is approximately 1.38509. 178 is a semi-prime of the 42 times 89, which means 178 is twice a prime number. The number 178 is the 58th semi-prime, and 58 is itself a semi-prime. The number of median graphs on 9 vertices is 178. There are 178 bi-connected graphs with 6 vertices, among which one is designated as the root and the rest are in label. 129 is the sum of the first 10 prime numbers. 3 and 43 are Gaussian primes, so when they are multiplied together, they make a Bloom integer. 129. It is the smallest number that can be expressed as a sum of 3 squares in 4 different ways. 116 is the number of ternary Linden words of length 6. By the way, 116 is the number of different ways of partitioning numbers from 1 to 5 into subsets in such a way that, for every k, the union of the first k subsets is a consecutive sequence of integers. 56 is the sum of the first 6 triangular numbers. 56 is also a tetranic sign number and is a multiple of 7 and 8. It is the sum of 6 consecutive primes. 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 11 plus 13 plus 17. Since 56 is twice a perfect number, 28. 56 is a semi-perfect number. 61 is the 18th prime number and the twin prime of 59. 61 is also the fourth cubic prime of the first 4. It is the sum of 2 consecutive squares, 5 to the 2 and 6 to the 2. Also, 61 is a unique prime in base 14 since no other prime has a 6th digit period in base 14. 148 is the second number to be both a heptagonal number and a centered heptagonal number. The first is 1 in base 6, or so. 148 is palindromic. There are 148 perfect graphs with 6 vertices and 148 ways of partitioning 4 equal to subsets, ordering the subsets, and selecting a leader for each subset. 156 is a number that has the factorization of 2 to the 2 times 3 times 13. It is the decagonal number, which is given by the formula 5 times n to the 2 minus 4n. Also, 156 degrees is the internal angle of a pentagon or a 15gon. 34 is the 9th distinct semi-prime. To be more specific, it is the 6th of the 42 times cube, or 2 cube. By the way, 34 has 4 divisors, while 33 and 35 have the same number of them. So 34 is the smallest number to be surrounded by numbers with the same number of divisors it has. 143 is the number of prime numbers that have 3 digits. Every positive integer is the sum of at most 143 seventh powers. See Waring's problem on Wikipedia for more information. This number is the sum of 7 consecutive primes. 11 plus 13 plus 17 plus 19 plus 23 plus 29 plus 31. But it is never the sum of an integer in its base 10 digits, making it a self-number. 74 is the 21st distinct semi-prime and the 11th of the 42 cube, where q is a higher prime. 74 is also with an aliquot sum of 40, within an aliquot sequence of 3 composite numbers, 74, 40, 50, 43, 1, 0, to the prime in the 43 aliquot tree. 184 is, in poker, with one or more jokers as wild cards, the number of different straight flushes. There are 184 different Eulerian graphs on 8 labeled vertices and 184 paths by which a chess rook can travel from one corner of a 4x4 chessboard to the opposite corner without passing through the same square twice. 187 is a semi-prime of form 11 cube, where q is a higher prime, and it is 11 times 17 in hexadecimal. 187 is a reptigit since its BB in base 16, per Hiller's rules. The Triakis tetrahedron produces 187 distinct stellations. It is the smallest Catalan solid, the ultimate truncated tetrahedron, which only has 9 179 is a superprime number. Reversing the digits of 179 will make 971, which is also prime. So 179 is a number, but it is not a permutable prime since 791 equals 7 times 113. 66 was a popular root number in the U.S., named Route 66. Specifically, it was the designation for the historic U.S. Route 66. Also, 66 is a semi-perfect number because this number is a multiple perfect number. 155 is a semi-prime that is 5 times 31, and it is a composite number. By the way, 155 is odious, since its binary expansion has a total of 5 ones in it. If one adds up all the primes from the least through the greatest prime factor of 155, that is, 5 and 31, the result is 155, and 3 other small semi-primes, 10, 39, and 371, share this attribute. 134 is a semi-prime of 2q, where q is a higher prime. The previous number is 133, which is also a semi-prime since that number is 7 times 19 in Roman numerals. 134 is a Friedman number. Also, 134 is a non-addition since there is no integer with exactly 134 coprimes below it, and it is a non-quotient since there is no integer with 134 integers with common factors smaller than it. 102 is an abundant number and a semi-perfect number. Additionally, 102 is a harsh number since 1 plus 0 plus 2 equals 3 is divisible by 102. The sum of Euler's tangent function over the first 18 integers is 102. 5 is the third prime number. 5 is also the second superprime. It is also the first safe prime, the first good prime, the first balanced prime, and the first of 3 non-Wilson primes. 4 powers of 5. Every power ends with the digit 5, and from 5 to the 3 onward. 172 is a composite number that is 2 to the 2 times 43 in 0. 172 is 444, which makes 172 a palindromic number and a root digit in base 6. Also, 172 is a thickened cube number, half an odd. 7 to the 3 equals 343, rounded up to the next integer. 27 is the cube of 3, or 3 rated to the 2. The first non-trivial decagonal number is 27. By the way, 27 is the only positive integer that is 3 times the sum of its digits. Also, it is divisible by the number of primes below it, which is 9. 151 is the 36th prime number, with the previous being 149. 149 and 151 are twin primes. This number is a unique prime in base 2 since it is the only prime with period 15 in base 2 in ternary. 151 is also a palindrome. 150 is the sum of 8 consecutive primes. 7 plus 11 plus 13 plus 17 plus 19 plus 23 plus 29 plus 31. The sum of its digits, 1 plus 5 plus 0, is equal to 6. Since 150 is divisible by 6, it is a harsh number. The sum of Euler's tangent function over the first 22 integers is 150. 160 is the number of characters permitted in a standard short message service. Also, 160 is the sum of the first 11 primes, 231, as well as the sum of the cubes of the first 3 primes, 25. By the way, 160 is a number that is 5 times a power of 2, 32. 171 is triangular number after 120, 136, and 153. This number is a Jacob's number, which is part of an integer sequence named after the German mathematician Jacobs. The diagonals of a regular decagon meet at 171 points, including both crosses and the vertices of the decagon. 19 is the 8th prime number. By the way, the sum of the squares of the first 19 primes is divisible by 19, like 19, 199, 1999, 199,999, and 19,999,999 are all prime. The first prime decimal number that is not a permutable prime is 19, as its reverse, 91, is composite because the 7 times 13, 144 73. It is the square of 12. There are 21 solutions to Euler's totient equation for 144. This is more than any integer below it, which makes it a highly totient number. 25 is a square number, being 5 to the 2. By the way, it is the smallest decimal freedom number as it can be expressed by its own digits. 5 to the 2. When dealing with percentages, 25% is equal to 1 over 4. The number of primes under 100 is 25. 162 is a composite number that is twice the power of 3. 81. By the way, 162 to 64 plus 1 is a prime number. There are 162 ways of partitioning 7 items into subsets of at least 2 items per subset. In octal, 162 is a palindromic number. 67 is the 19th prime number. The next is 71, making 67 and 71 cousin primes. By the way, 67 is a Hainer number. 67 is also a superprime. The ordinal number 19 is prime, an irregular prime, a lucky prime, and an isolated prime. 65 and 69 are not prime. 28 is the second perfect number, which means it's the sum of its proper divisors. By the way, there are 28 non-equivalent ways of expressing 1000 as the sum of 2 prime numbers. Also, a happy number, a triangular number, and a hexagonal number all describe the number 28. 105 is the double factorial of 7. This number is a pseudo-prime to the prime bases 13, 29, 41, 43, 71, 83, and 97. 105 is the sum of the first 5 square pyramidal numbers as well. It is the first odds figure number, 3 times 5 times 7, and 105 is the product of 3 consecutive prime numbers. 182 is an even number that is the product of 3 prime factors. By the way, 182 is a member of the Mianjala sequence, in base 9. 182 is an integer. 182 can be expressed as a product of 2 consecutive integers, namely 13 and 14, so it is a product number. 106 is a semiprime, and its factorization is 2 times 53. It is a centered pentagonal number, which is a centered figure-8 number that represents a pentagon with a dot in the center and all other dots surrounding the center in successive pentagonal pairs. 15 is the 8th composite number and the 6th semiprime. 15 is also a deficient number, a lucky number, and a Bell number. It is also the smallest number that can be factorized using Shor's algorithm. Furthermore, 15's prime factors, 3 and 5, form the first twin prime pair. 52 is the approximate number of weeks in a year. It is the next decagonal number after 10 and 27. Furthermore, 52 is the 5th Bell number, which means it is the number of ways to partition a set of 5 objects. 0.5, also known as 1 over 2, is the irreducible fraction resulting from dividing 1 by 2, or the fraction resulting from dividing any number by its double. 1 over 2 is also the unique rational number that lies midway between 0 and 1 as the quotient of the first 2 non-zero integers. 167 is the 39th prime number following 163 and preceding 173. This integer is an MNURB since reversing its digits will yield another prime. 761. Also, this is an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and a real part of the form 3n-1. 14 is the 7th composite number and the 3rd distinct semiprime. It is the first even non-totient, meaning that it is not a totient number. It is also the first member of the first cluster of 2 discrete semiprimes, 14 and 15, with the next subcluster being 21 and 22. 44 is the number of candles in a box of Hanukkah candles. The first cluster of 2 square primes of the form e to the 2 times q is 44 and 45. 44 is the first member of the 2. 44 is also a Fibonacci number, preceded by 7, 13, and 24, whose sum it equals. 193 is the 44th prime number and the second member of the prime quadruple. 191, 193, 197, and 199. It is also the 13th Beerbohm prime, which implies that a regular 193 gon can be constructed using a compass, straight edge, and angled trisector. 93 is the 28th distinct semiprime where q is a higher prime. This number is a Bloom integer since its two prime factors, 3 and 31, are both Gaussian primes. In bases 2, 5, and 30, 93 is palindromic. 125 is the cube of 5. Like many other powers of 5, it is a Friedmann number in base 10. 125 is the center of a closed triplet of perfect powers. 121 equals 11 to the 2. 125 equals 5 to the 3. And 128 equals 2 to the 7. Also, 125 and 126 form a Rutherford pair under the second definition, in which repeated prime factors are counted as often as they occur. 40 is the fourth octagonal number, the smallest number, and with exactly 9 solutions to the equation Euler's totient function is 40. As the sum of the first 4 pentagonal numbers, it is also the fourth pentagonal pyramidal number. 174 is a sphenic number that is 2 times 3 times 29. The more dead curve y to the 2 equals x to the 3 minus 174 has rank 3, and 174 is the smallest positive integer for which y to the 2 equals x to the 3 minus k has this rank. The corresponding number for curves y to the 2 equals x to the 3 plus k is 113. 173 is the 40th prime number, with the next being 179 and the previous being 167. The number 173 in binary has an odd number of 1s, so 173 is an odious number. In bases 3, 9, 173 is a palindromic number. 79 is the 22nd prime number and a cousin prime with 83. 79 is also a sexy prime with 73. The number 79 is an Amirpin base 10, because the reverse of 79, 97, is also a prime, because 23 factorial plus 1 is divisible by 79, but 79 is not 1 more than multiple of 23. 79 is a Callite prime. 0 is a number representing an empty quantity. Also, 0 times any number is equal to 0. Adding 0 to anything or subtracting 0 from anything leaves the number unchanged. 0 is also the additive identity of integers, rational numbers, real numbers, and complex numbers. 194 is a semiprime that is 2 times 97. No integer can be found that has exactly 194 coprimes below it, so 194 is a non-tissue. Also, the number of irreducible representations of the monster group is 194. Interestingly enough, 16 times 10 to the 194 minus 31, divided by 3 is prime. 127 is a Mersenne prime that is 2 to the 7 minus 1. Also, there are a total of 127 prime numbers between 2000 and 3000. The smallest prime that can be written as the sum of the first 2 or more odd primes is 127. Specifically, they are primes 3 to 29. 42 is, in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. As of 2023, 42 was the last natural number less than 100 whose representation as a sum of 3 cubes was found. 64 is the sixth power of 2. Additionally, 64 is the sum of Euler's totient function for the first 14 integers. As a power of 2, it is the lowest one that is not adjacent to either a Mersenne prime or a Fermat prime. 35 is a tetrahedral number because it is the sum of the first 5 triangular numbers. 35 has 2 prime factors, 5 and 7, which also form its main factor pair and comprise the second twin prime distinct semiprime pair. 152 is the sum of 4 consecutive primes. 31 plus 37 plus 41 plus 43, the smallest reputed probable prime found as of 2023 in base 152 has 589,570 digits, though it's currently unknown when. In base 10, 152's digit sum is 1 plus 5 plus 2 equals 8, and since 152 is divisible by 8, 152 is the harsh number. 63 is the sum of the first 6 powers of 2. 63 is also the 7th square prime of the form p to the 2 times q and the second of the form 3 to the 2 times q. It contains a prime aliquot sum of 41, which is the 13th indexed prime, and part of the aliquot sequence. 63, 41, 1, 0. equations involving differences between third powers of two integers x and y. It is also the fifth lucky prime after 3, 7, 13, and 31. 22 is a palindromic number in base 10. Additionally, 22 is the number of pieces in a disk that can be created with 6 straight cuts, making it the 7th central polygonal number. For the record, 22 is the 4th pentagonal number, the 3rd hexagonal pyramidal number, and the 3rd centered heptagonal number. 101 is the 26th prime number and the smallest above 100. Also, 101 is a Chen prime since 103 is also prime, with which it makes a twin prime pair. By the way, the number 101 is an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and real part of the form 3n minus 1. 199 is the 46th prime number. The next one is not until 211, and the previous one is 197. Also, it is the last prime of the prime quadruplet. 191, 193, 197, and 199. By the way, 199 is a centered triangular number after 85, 109, 136, and 166. 118 is the number of known elements on the periodic table. This number is not in the range of Euler's totient function, and it is a non-addition. It is a Leyland number of the second kind due to it being 3 to the 5 minus 5 to the 3. 177 is the ninth Leyland number where it is equal to 2 to the 7 plus 7 to the 2. Gaussian primes are primes of the form 4n plus 3. Both of 177's factors, 3 and 59, are Gaussian primes with n equal to 0 and 14 respectively. So 177 is a Bloom integer, 154 is a non-natural number after 46, 75, and 111. Also, 154 factorial plus 1 is a factorial prime. There is no integer with exactly 154 co-primes below it, making 154 non-Gaussian. Its factorization, 2 times 7 times 11, makes it a Spinnaker number. 158 is the number of digits in the decimal expansion of 100 factorial. Also, 158 is an odious number since there are an odd number of ones in its binary expansion. It is a non-addition since there is no integer with 158 co-primes below it. 39 is the 12th distinct semi-prime and the 4th in the 3 times Q family. By the way, 39 is a pairing number, coming after 17, 22, and 29, meaning it's the sum of the first two mentioned. Also, 39 has an aliquot sum of 17, which is a prime since the sum of 39's proper divisor is 1 plus 3 plus 13 equals 17. 47 is the 15th prime number and the 6th Lucas prime. This number is an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and real part of the form 3n minus 1. 47 is also a highly co-Taussian number, because 47 is a Lucas prime. It is also a Lucas number. 87 is the sum of the squares of the first 4 primes. 87 equals 2 to the 2 plus 3 to the 2 plus 5 to the 2 plus 7 to the 2, with an aliquot of 33. 87 has an aliquot sum equal to 7 right. It is also the sum of the sums of the divisors of the first 10 positive integers. 164 is a circle of the Mertens function, internally. 164 is written American Samoa 20002, since 20,002's digits can be reversed into the same. 164 is palindromic in base 3. In base 10, 164 is the smallest number that can be expressed as a concatenation of two squares in two different ways, as 1 concatenate 64 or 16 concatenate 4. More specifically, it's 1 to the 2 concatenate 8 to the 2 or 4 to the 2 concatenate 2 to the 2. 192 has the prime factorization 2 to the 6 times 3. By the way, 192 is a Leyland number of the second kind because it is 2 to the 8 minus 8 to the 2. 192 is also the sum of 10 consecutive primes. 5 plus 7 plus 11 plus 13 plus 17 plus 19 plus 23 plus 29 plus 31 plus 37. 94 is the 29th distinct semi-prime and the 14th that is twice a prime. Also, 94 is a 17-gonal number or a heptagonal number after 17 and 48. This number is the second number of the third triplet of 3 consecutive distinct least positive integer with a Zeckendorf representation requiring 5 Fibonacci numbers. 24 is the average number of hours in a day on Earth. 4 factorial equals 24, and it is the largest factorial without a zero at the end, subtracting 1 from any of its divisors, except 1 and 2 but including itself, yields a prime number. It is the largest number with this property. 62 is the 18th discrete semiprime, 2 times 31, and the 10th of the form 2q, where q is a higher prime. By the way, this number is the sum of the number of faces, edges, and vertices of icosahedron or dodecahedron. 46 is the number of human chromosomes. By the way, it is the number of parallelogram polynomials with 6 cells. Also, the aliquot sum of 48 is 26, which itself is a semiprime. One of the centered triangular numbers is 46. 68 is an even number and a composite number. As a decimal number, 68 is the last 2-digit number to appear for the first time in digits of pi, known as a happy number. Repeating summing the squares of 68's digits eventually leads to 1. 170 is a sphenic number that is 2 times 5 times 17. Also, 170 is not in the range of Euler's totient function, making it a non-totient, nor can the number be expressed as the difference between a positive integer and the number of co-prime integers below it, making it a non-Gaussian. 186 is a number with 3 prime factors, 2, 3, and 31. There is no integer with exactly 186 co-primes less than it, so 186 is a non-totient. It is also never the difference between an integer and the total of co-primes below it, so it is a non-Gaussian. 188 is a number that is factorized as 2 to the 2 times 47. There are 188 different 4-element semigroups. Also, the number of ways a chess queen can move from one corner of a 4x4 board to the opposite corner by a path that always moves closer to its goal is 188. 72 is half gross or 6 dozen. In other words, it is 60 in duodecimal. It is the smallest Achilles number, as it's a powerful number that is not itself a power. Also, 72 is the second multiple of 12 after 48, that is not a sum of twin primes. 115 has a square sum of divisors. 1 plus 5 plus 23 plus 115 equals 144 equals 12 to the 2, the 115th real number. 115 times 2 to the 115 minus 1, which is about 4.78 of a zillion, is a prime number. There are 115 solutions to the stamp folding problem for a strip of 7 stamps. 157 is the 37th prime number. The next prime is 163 and the previous prime is 151. In relation to 163 and 151, 157 is a sexy prime in both ways because 151 and 157 and 157 and 163 both differ by 6. For base 10, 157 to the 2 equals 24, 469 and 158 to the 2 equals 24, 964, which uses the same digits. The previous pair with this property is 13 and 14, and the next is 913 and 914. 137 is the 33rd prime number. The next one is 139, which is 2 numbers away. Therefore, 137 and 139 are twin primes. By the way, 137 is also a Pythagorean prime, the 4th Stirling prime, a strong prime, and a strictly non-palindromic number. 58 is the 17th discrete semiprime. Discrete semiprimes are semiprimes that are not square numbers. This number is an 11-gonal number. After 11 and 30, the number 58 is the smallest integer whose square root has a continued fraction with period 7. 175 is a number that has the factorization of 5 to the 2 times 7. The number 175 is both a decagonal number and a decagonal pyramid number. The smallest number after one that has both of these properties. 175 is also a figure-8 number for a Rhombic dodecahedron, with a difference of 2 consecutive fourth powers. 175 equals 4 to the 4 minus 3 to the 4. 369 is the next such number, and 65 is the previous one. 77 is the sum of the first 8 prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. Also, 77 is the sum of 3 consecutive squares, 4 to the 2 plus 5 to the 2 plus 6 to the 2. This number is a Bloom integer since both 7 and 11 are Gaussian primes. 189 is a composite number that is 3 to the 3 times 7. There are 189 zeros among the decimal digits of the positive integers, at most 3 digits. The largest prime number that can be represented in 256-bit arithmetic is the ultra-useful prime 2 to the 256 minus 189, used in quasi-Monte Carlo methods and in some cryptographic systems. 149 is the 35th prime number and the first prime whose difference from the previous prime is exactly 10. When the digits of 149 are reversed, the number is still prime, making it inevitable. There are exactly 149 integer points in a closed circular disk of radius 7. 99 is the highest 2-digit number in decimal. By the way, it is the sum of the cubes of 3 consecutive integers. 99 equals 2 to the 3 plus 3 to the 3 plus 4 to the 3. In addition to 99 being a lucky number, it is a Koppelker number. The sum of the sums of the divisors of the first 11 positive integers is 99. 123 is a Lucas number after 29, 47, and 76. Also, this is the first whole number containing numbers from 1 to 3, along with 6. 123 is one of only 2 positive integers that is simultaneously 2 more than a perfect square and 2 less than a perfect cube. 191 is the 43rd prime number. 43 itself is prime, so 191 is a superprime. The prime number is in the form of 4n plus 3, so it is a Gaussian prime. This number is part of the prime quadruplet of 4 primes. 191, 193, 197, and 199, and that's it. Those were the 120 numbers today.
That's amazing!
Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to Dust1218, it helps him out a lot. Also, don't be afraid to comment on any mistakes we made in the video. Now, I'm out of here, and I'll see you next time.